Hi YouTube, I'm in the Civic again today. So the other day I did the distant pads on the Civic and I forgot to record an intro. So let's go back to the past when it was sunny and let's do those distant pads.
So we're going to start with the wheel off because you did the wheel the other day. Distant pads. Start, we've got to take the caliper off. So we got to undo, there's two 12 mils at the back of these, one there, one down there. So we'll just loosen those off quickly. Start by cracking these two 12 mils off then. The top one. There we go. That's them both loosened. There we go, top one's coming out nicely. Take that one out fully. And we should be able to swing this caliper down. There we go, look. Caliper's swing out the way now. Problem is this though. This hose here is too tight because of this on here, so we'll just loosen that off quick. There you go, that's got it. There you go, that's that off. Now we should be able to swing the caliper down a bit further. There we go. Let's have a look at this. She's not looking ideal, is she? Bit of crap inside this boot, look. I might get away with it actually. Here's the caliper anyway. We're gonna have to push this piston back in to be able to get our new bits on, new pads in. And here's the old pads. They should just come out quite easily, but we might need a flathead screwdriver actually to pull these out. So let's go grab one of those real quick. Alright, so I don't let this caliper hang down too much on the brake line. So I bought this axle stand just to rest it on real quick. There we go. Now there's no tension on the brake line, so we won't risk splitting that. Oh, there we go. Wobble these pads, and they should just, they're in a little spring clip, so a little wobble back and forth. There you go, and they should come out that. As you can see there's not a lot of braking material left on them, so I was quite glad quite good with changing them really. Other than that, they look nice and even. Let's take the other one out. There you go, there's the other side, so we can see that as well. It's got these little squeal things on, so when it gets low it hits that bit of metal, just makes a noise just so you know that your pads are low. Pretty good design, pretty simple, doesn't really go wrong. So yeah, there we go, that's the pads removed on the driver's side. Next we're going to look at removing the disc. So next we've got to remove this carrier for the caliper. So this is a couple of 17 mils on the back. There's one there, there's one further down there you can see as well. So we just set on removing that. I've just put the caliper on this axle stand for now, just out of the way. Tap our socket on. Right, okay then. Have to have a little rethink. There you go, I've got the camera in less in the way. This is on pretty tight, so we'll get the next thing. Because our little one wasn't quite enough, Try it with the big one. Oh, there we go. That's all we need. Now it can be undone by the little one. And I can undo the top one as well. Now I'll remove this carrier. And then we can get access to the disc. Nice, so that should slide off. Okay, so to remove the disc, we've got these two crossheads. One here and one here. These are usually seized, so we'll have a go. This doesn't look too old, so hopefully it'll be alright. Need to get the camera well on it. There we go. Well, that one's tight. What about the other one? Oh no, that's not what I wanted to happen. Okay. Right, so these screws are seized as hell, so we're going with the drill approach. Always a last resort, really. Should be one. That should be the second. So now, hopefully this will come off with a bit of a hit and we'll be able to replace it. There you go, just enough of a hit to take it off. So now we've got to pull these out, back out these little screws. So hopefully we can get a pair of pliers on them. If not, we'll have to drill through a bit more. So we'll see what we can do with the pliers anyway. Right, back with some pliers. Oh, perfect, look. You can see this unscrewing nicely. That's now the hub. No disc on it, just the hub, so we'll give that a little clean up because you've got some metal shards on there, then we can fit the new disc. Right, so here's our new disc. Probably give this a little wipe down before we put it on. Just give it a bit of the brake and clutch cleaner. Before we do that, I'll give you a before and after. Look, there you go. Brand new disc versus the old one. Look at the back of these. I'm not sure what this bit is. It's like the pad on this side was smaller than the other side. I don't know why. Shouldn't do that. It's partly why I'm changing it, to be honest. And these are really ridged. You can feel, I mean, you can probably see it on there. Those ridges shouldn't be there. So we've changed disc pads, that'll make it a lot nicer. Right, so we just give the disc a spray now. Because when these are shipped out, they've got a bit of oil on them, just so they don't rust. So you want to get rid of that, just with a little spray of brake cleaner. And give the outside a little bit of a spray and a wipe as well. Get rid of any residual oil off it, and then we should be good to fit the retaining bracket back on as well. Right, so we're going to offer up the caliper mounting bracket now. Goes round. Which way does it go? Around like that. There we go. Right in there. In there. There we go. That's one winding on. Now, where's the other one? There we go. Oh. So we just put on the caliper mounting bracket now. Just do these couple of bolts up finger tight for now. Then we can get the we can start tying them up with the wrench. That's the top one snug anyway. Well, I've taut these up because they're breaking parts, so have a look in the Haynes book anyway. So we're just looking up the torque setting for the the front caliper mounting bracket bolts. Those ones there go along there, 108 newton meters. Now with our torque wrench up, we can torque the bolt up. So keep doing this until it clicks. There we go. That's now torqued up. We'll do the bottom one. There we go. That's both of those bolts torqued up. Now in order to fit our new pads into the piston, we're going to have to push that piston back. So you can either use a big pipe grip, sort of like this, to squeeze it back in. But then it's not always possible to get it in square. So we're going to use a brake cylinder compression kit. What's the official name? There you go. The brake disc caliper tool set. We're going to use that. So it's a combination of these bits that will go onto the piston and we'll be able to push it inwards. Okay, so the way this works is you get these shape bits, they go in, fit inside there nicely, slide in here, inside that other bit. So when you wind this in, it should push the piston back within the caliper. So you can see it going slightly. While you're doing this, you do want to be sure that your brake fluid isn't going to overflow, because obviously when you push this back in, your brake fluid level will increase because the fluid's no longer at the piston end, it will be at the reservoir. If you need to, take some brake fluid out with a little syringe or something like that. Just saves you making a mess, having to clean up anything after. Right, so that's all pushed back in now. Oh wow, I didn't show you the before, but this has come right up now, so it's probably well above the maximum. So yeah, there you go, the maximum's there, so we're above the line. So I'll just take some of that out. Before it was really far down here, just because we've pushed that piston back in now, we've obviously put more fluid in the reservoir. So we just take some of that out. Lovely, nice piss. So now we're going to compare our pads to old to new. So you can see they're basically the same. I have noticed actually on this one, there's some really weird wear patterns. So on the disc we saw that line that hadn't been worn. There's actually a step in the pad here, and on the inside there's a step going up as well, which is weird. So I'm quite glad I'm changing both the disc and the pads really. Don't know what would have caused that, probably dodgy maintenance down the line, but just glad it's going to be sorted. There we go. Let's get the inside one in now. Now we can refit the caliper now they're in. Perfect. They're all both finger tight now. We'll just tighten these two up nice and quick. These don't need to be that tight because they're not actually structurally mounted anything. It's only mounting it to the slider pins. So we need about 30 newton meters, so 25 to 30. Good. Alright, here's just a closer look at the discs we've taken off. So you can see they're scored on both sides. But the back one, weirdly, has this mark all the way around where the pad wasn't touching it, and in the middle where the pad wasn't touching it. So you can see that on the pad itself. If you look down the inside, there's a slight lip on the inside, and on the outside there's a big dip where that line goes around. Not quite sure what was causing that. Either way, it's a good thing we've changed the discs and pads, really. At least now we know that they're good.
So, the GoPro ran out of battery while I was doing the refitting of the discs and pads. So we took off one side in the video. All that was left to put back on really was the wheel, and then do the other side. Did the other side, took about half hour, same process, drill out the little holding screws, all back together, went for a drive, bed the brakes in over a couple of days, nice and gentle driving. Hopefully next time we can do something a bit more interesting than disc and pads. Cheers guys.